Okay, hi besties, welcome back. If you're new here, you should totally subscribe if you like book related videos. So, for today's video, I'm going to be rating some popular book talk books. If you're watching this video, you are probably on Book Talk, and these books are some of the books that I have bought because of Book Talk. And we're gonna talk about some ratings, some opinions. So the first book is like super popular, Beach Read. I know I shouldn't even be like putting this book on this video, but I need some help and I need some inspiration from you guys because this is what I have read from this book, but every time I pick it up, it kind of puts me in a bit of a reading slump, and I just never pick it up because it does that to me, and it's so frustrating because people love this book and I don't know why, but I just can't get into it. Please help. Like, if you have comments, if you like this book, or just give me your opinions about this book down below because I am struggling. Like, I am struggling. So yeah. First of all, you guys know Colleen Hoover is my favorite author, so I just need to mention It Ends With Us in this video. It's just brilliant. It's a masterpiece. I don't have one single bad thing to say about this book. This is a solid 5 out of 5 stars. It's so good. This was the first book that I read from Colleen Hoover, and this book is why I started reading her books and in general. So I just have this book on a pedestal. It's so good. Please go get it if you haven't read it. And I do want to say, I know this book has a lot of hype right now, so maybe for some people it's not gonna be the best book ever because I feel like it's so hyped up. Please go get it. It's just, yes, go get it. Okay, the third book that I'm going to talk about today, well, I'm going to talk about two books from the same author. So the author is Taylor Jenkins Reid. You probably know her. She is so famous on TikTok and in general. So the first book that I read from Taylor Jenkins Reid was Malibu Rising. But I'm not going to mention that in this video, but I am going to talk about The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So this was the second book that I read from this author, and I got this cover from Book of the Month, if you are wondering, because a lot of people ask me where I got this book cover, and it's Book of the Month subscription. But yeah, this book was so good. I honestly didn't know what the book was about. I didn't even know the plot or anything, so it was a surprise. I started reading the book, and obviously the title is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. You kind of know that the book is gonna talk about husbands and the husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but this is from a writer journalist perspective, which her name is Monique, and she is interviewing Evelyn Hugo, and Evelyn Hugo wants Monique to write a book about her life. So basically that is what this book is about. It's basically a huge interview with Evelyn Hugo. It also has sections for each husband, so you kind of get to see what Evelyn Hugo's life was with each husband. And there is a plot twist at the end. So please go read this. It's so good. It does get a little bit repetitive with each husband, but please stick to the end. It's so worth it. I loved it so much. So the next book is from the same author. I'm gonna talk about Daisy Jones and the Six. This book is basically based on the 70s, and it's the story about Daisy Jones and the Six. So the Six are a rock band, and basically this woman, this writer journalist, is interviewing these people so she can write this book. So that is the format of the book. It's all the different perspectives of the characters. A lot of people say that you should listen to the audiobook of this book because it's fun hearing their thoughts and everything. And Daisy Jones is this girl, this cool girl that lives in LA, and she's so young. Her parents never pay attention to her. She parties, she does drugs. So that's one section where you get to know Daisy Jones, and then in the other section you get to know each member of the Six band. And at one point in the book, Daisy Jones and the band come together, and that's where like the story starts. Honestly, so good. This book is so good. It's so well written. So many things happen and you kind of get hooked right from the beginning. I love it. If you want to hear my thoughts and the process of me reading this book, I have a reading vlog. I'm gonna put it right here so you can go watch it. But this was also a 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, the next book is so popular on TikTok. It's from the Off-Campus series. Well, I would say the entire Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy, but I'm going to like specifically talk about The Deal. So if you don't know, the Off-Campus series is based on 4 different books. So this is the first one, and the books are based on a friend group of 4 guys. So each book has the story of one of the guys in the friend group. So this one is the first friend in the guy group. This one is from Garrett. If you're searching for like a romance college type of book, this is perfect. It's spicy, it's so good, it's funny, it's perfection. Like, I loved this book so much, and this is one of my favorite books from the series. The second favorite is The Score, which is the third book of the series. So yeah, I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. So good. It's a little bit enemies to lovers, and oh my gosh, like, go read this book. It's just so good, and you kind of get hooked and you just want to read the entire series so fast. It's so good. Go read it. Okay, the next book is a very sad book, but it's so popular on TikTok. 8,000 Boy Kisses by T. Lee Cole. This is one of the saddest books I have read. Surprisingly, it's a YA book. So I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think originally I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars, but now that I think about it, it's more of like a 4.5 out of 5 stars because of a reason that I'm gonna tell you in a bit. But this book is about Poppy and Rune. It's like childhood best friends to lovers. So basically, Poppy and Rune have been like childhood best friends since they were kids, and when they were like 15, I think 15, 16, Rune has to move to another country, and it was so hard, the goodbye part of that. Oh my gosh. And they decide to do long distance, and after 1 month, the girl Poppy stops talking to Rune, and 2 years later, Rune comes back to like the city where Poppy lives and everything, and they meet again. And Rune is like the bad boy, so heartbroken by the situation. It's really hard. And when he comes back, they get into like a huge fight, and she tells him why she stopped talking to him. And it's so heartbreaking. The only reason why I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars, because I feel like the story was dragged on a little bit too much. Like, the book could have been way shorter. But besides that, it's a masterpiece of a book. So good. I really recommend it if you want to cry and bawl your eyes out. Okay, next book is more of like a recent, I would say, popular book talk book. The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. And oh my gosh, this is like co-workers to lovers, enemies to lovers, slow burn. Oh my gosh. This book is about Catalina and Aaron, and they are like co-workers, but they hate each other so much, and they kind of like settle into a pact where they're gonna like help each other with things, and it's so good. It's so good. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars, and it is like a slow burn. Like, oh my gosh, that is the only like annoying thing. Honestly, it was a little bit annoying because of how it's honestly a chunky book. Like, it's a little bit long. It's such a slow burn, but it's worth it. Like, when you get to the part, it's worth it. And the ending, I love the ending so much. So yes, recommend this 100%. Okay, the next one is actually a recent read, and I would say it's also like a recent popular book talk book. This book is Twisted Love by Anna Huang, and this book is part of a trilogy. I think it's only a trilogy. So after this is Twisted Games, and after that one is another book that hasn't come out yet. So right off the bat, I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I literally like read it like a week ago. It was so good. This book has like the grumpy sunshine trope, the brother's best friend trope, oh my gosh, the bad boy trope, obviously. This book is about Ava and Alex. So Alex is like the ultimate like bad boy, but he's so like intelligent. He runs like a multi-million company. He's just on another level, and she's a like sunshine type of girl. She's in college, so basically Ava and Alex end up being neighbors, and you just know where that's going. But I just have to say, there are so many plot twists in this book, so many, like so freaking many, and I didn't see them coming, and they were so good. Like at the end of the book, you're kind of just left a little bit hurt, but so shocked. So good. I know I have like literally talked about romance books, but this book is a fantasy book, but it has a little bit of romance. The Daughter of the Pirate King. This is a duology, and this is the first book, and I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. But the second book, The Daughter of the Siren Queen, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Definitely my favorite one. It's so easy to read. I read this book in like 2 days, and I was hooked. It was so fun, so interesting. Enemies to lovers. If you like the movies of like the Pirates of the Caribbean, you just need to read this book. And those were all the books that I'm going to talk about today. So if you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe down below. So thank you so much for watching, besties, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Everyone was watching you.